Welcome to Thinking Point Debates, where ideas collide, assumptions are challenged, and the questions that shape our future are put to the test. All right, Alen, imagine this. You're at a coffee shop, or maybe a concert, even a family dinner. You look around, and what do you see? Almost everyone, eyes glued to a screen, scrolling, typing, lost in their own digital world. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Are we truly connecting with each other? Or are these devices, brilliant as they are, slowly, subtly replacing the depth of real, face to face human relationships?
Carl, that's a powerful image, and I get where you're coming from. It's easy to see the disconnect in those moments. But I think it's a bit of a sweeping generalization to say smartphones are replacing real relationships. Couldn't that person at the concert be sharing that moment with a friend who couldn't be there, or organizing a meetup with their family later? I see smartphones as powerful tools that enhance and facilitate connection, often creating more opportunities for real relationships rather than destroying them.
That's a fair point, Alen, about the potential. But let's get into the core of it. My affirmative stance is this. Yes, smartphones are, in many significant ways, replacing real relationships. We're substituting genuine, spontaneous interaction, the kind that builds empathy and understanding through shared physical presence, with a curated, often superficial, digital equivalent. We're building walls of glass between us, even when we're in the same room. It's the convenience of a text over the richness of a conversation, a like over a hug.
I appreciate your candor, Carl, but I firmly believe that this perspective overlooks the incredible power of smartphones to fortify and expand our relationships. My opposing argument is that these devices don't replace real relationships, they augment them. Think about it. Long distance friendships, families separated by continents, even rekindling old school ties. Smartphones make those connections not just possible, but easy and constant. They allow us to stay present in each other's lives in ways that were unimaginable even a couple of decades ago, keeping the flame of connection alive until we can meet in person.
Okay, let's dive deeper into that. You talk about fortifying connections, but what about the quality of that connection? Take dating, for example. We've moved from meeting people organically, getting to know their nuances, to swiping through profiles based on a few pictures and a pithy bio. Are those relationships we're forming truly real, or just a digital approximation that rarely translates into something meaningful? We're often forming relationships with an idealized digital avatar, not the complex person behind it. And then there's the distraction factor. How many times have you been mid-conversation with someone and they just instinctively check their phone? That microaggression, that signal that something on the screen is potentially more important than the person in front of you, slowly erodes intimacy.
I hear you on the potential for superficiality in some contexts, Carl, but that's a user issue, not an inherent flaw in the technology itself. Regarding dating apps, many successful long term relationships and marriages have started that way. It's a tool for initial connection, which can then blossom into deep real world bonds. And on the distraction point, while it's a valid concern, smartphones also allow us to coordinate real world meetups far more easily. Imagine trying to organize a group dinner without a group chat, or finding out a friend is going through a tough time and being able to offer immediate support even if you can't be there in person. That kind of constant, accessible communication actually strengthens bonds by fostering a sense of continuous presence and care. My best friend lives 3 states away, but we feel closer than ever thanks to our daily texts and weekly video calls.
But isn't there a fundamental difference between knowing about someone's life through their social media feed and truly experiencing it with them? When you're constantly connected to a digital stream of information, you lose the art of being fully present. The anticipation of meeting someone, the joy of a spontaneous encounter, these moments are becoming rarer because we're always connected to something else. We're trading the profound for the pervasive. We're talking at each other online more than we're talking with each other in person. It's like we're settling for a diluted version of human connection.
I disagree that it's a diluted version. It's an evolved version. Humans adapt, and our methods of connection adapt with technology. The feeling of missing out on spontaneous encounters might be true for some, but for others, the smartphone enables spontaneity. Hey, I'm in your neighborhood. Want to grab coffee? That instant communication wouldn't happen without our phones. And let's not forget the incredible support networks that form online. People with rare illnesses, specific hobbies, or marginalized identities find communities and deep friendships through their phones that they might never encounter in their immediate physical world. Are those relationships less real because they started or are maintained digitally? I'd argue they are incredibly real and impactful.
Okay, Alen, you bring up online communities, and I agree they provide a sense of belonging. But how many of those online friendships genuinely translate into the kind of deep, reciprocal support you'd expect from a real world friend who'd show up at your door with soup when you're sick? Often, these online connections are based on a shared interest, which is great, but they lack the multifaceted depth that comes from sharing life's broader experiences, the mundane and the profound, side by side. The sheer volume of friends or followers we accumulate online can give us a false sense of robust social support, when in reality it's a mile wide and an inch deep.
That's a valid challenge, Carl. But to say they lack depth is dismissive of many genuine, powerful bonds. I know people who have flown across continents to meet online friends who became bridesmaids or best men at their weddings. Those are hardly superficial. And what about the opposite effect? Smartphones can help introverted individuals or those with social anxieties gradually build confidence online before venturing into face-to-face interactions. It's a stepping stone, a safe space to practice connection. It's not always about replacing. Sometimes it's about enabling initial connection that would otherwise be difficult or impossible.
I can see that argument for specific cases, Alen, but let's consider the broader ethical and psychological implications. The constant stream of notifications, the pressure to maintain an online persona, the fear of missing out, FOMO, these factors contribute to anxiety, depression, and a pervasive sense of inadequacy in many. If our devices are causing us to feel more isolated even while supposedly connecting us, or if they're making us perpetually anxious about how we're perceived, then aren't they actively undermining the very foundation of healthy relationships, which thrive on authenticity and presence?
Carl, those are serious concerns, and I wouldn't dismiss the mental health impacts of technology misuse. But it's crucial to distinguish between the tool and its application. A hammer can build a house or cause damage. It depends on how it's wielded. Digital literacy, mindfulness, and personal boundaries are essential. It's not the smartphone itself that causes anxiety, but our relationship with it. Many people use smartphones to access therapy, mindfulness apps, or connect with support groups, actively improving their mental well-being and strengthening their ability to form healthy relationships. The ethical imperative is on us to use the technology wisely, not to blame the technology for our own poor habits.
Let's zoom out a bit. What does this mean for society, for culture, for future generations? If we continue this trend where the default mode of interaction is mediated by a screen, what happens to fundamental human social skills? Things like reading subtle body language, navigating awkward silences, developing patience in conversation, or even the art of simply being with another person without external stimulus. Are we raising a generation that will be proficient at typing emojis, but struggle with genuine empathy and nuanced communication in person? I think there's a real risk of societal level atrophy of these crucial relational muscles.
I see your concern for future generations, Carl, but again, I think you're underestimating human adaptability and resilience. Every technological leap has brought similar fears: radio, television, the internet itself. Yet here we are, still forming deep bonds. In fact, smartphones, by connecting us globally, are fostering a more inclusive and understanding culture. We can learn about different perspectives, empathize with distant struggles, and participate in global movements for social good, all through our phones. This expands our relational capacity beyond our immediate physical bubble. For young people, it's just another form of communication, integrated into their social fabric. They still learn social skills, they're just learning them in a broader, more interconnected context.
My core argument remains, while smartphones offer undeniable convenience and reach, they fundamentally alter the nature of our relationships, often replacing depth with breadth, genuine presence with digital availability. The constant connection can lead to profound disconnections in real life, eroding our capacity for true intimacy and the messy, beautiful reality of shared human experience. We're prioritizing the digital performance of connection over the authentic, often imperfect experience of it.
And I maintain that smartphones are powerful tools for enhancing and expanding human relationships. They bridge distances, foster diverse communities, provide essential support, and offer new avenues for connection that were previously impossible. The challenge isn't the technology itself, but how we choose to wield it. When used mindfully, smartphones are catalysts for richer, more numerous, and more resilient relationships, helping us stay connected in an increasingly complex world. They're not replacements, they're extensions of our inherent human desire to connect.
It's a really complex issue, isn't it? One that probably touches everyone listening.
Absolutely, Carl. There are strong points on both sides, and it's a conversation we all need to keep having.
So, we've debated whether smartphones are replacing real relationships.
With Carl arguing they are, and me arguing they enhance them,
But what do you think? We want to hear your take.
are smartphones making your relationships more superficial or more profound? Let us know in the comments below.